Hi, welcome back to the Eichelberger Distillery. It's been about a week since we started the fireboxes for our stills and for the boilers. As you can see, we have one completed now. This is the firebox for our stripping still. And as I told you in the first video, we're using the Practical Distiller written by Samuel McGarry. His description of how a still enclosure was built to build these enclosures. So in his description, he says, if wood be plenty, stills ought to be set on an arch, but if scarce, the bottom ought to be set to the fire. Now why he's saying that is because in the city, firewood was very expensive. So they would have wanted to have the bottom of the still exposed right to the fire. That was the most efficient way to use the firewood that they had to pay a lot of money for. So you get out into the country, they have plenty of firewood. It's much more protective of the still if you can have a brick arch between it and the fire. It's going to help the still last longer. So we are out in the country, we have plenty of firewood, so we built it, we're building it on an arch. As you can see, this is the arch system that the still is going to sit on. There'll be a clay pad that'll sit on top of that arch, and then the still will be sitting right on top of that. And then the heat will come right through the brick, right into the still. Now, as we just said, this takes a little bit longer for the heat to get through, but it also does protect the still, and it works just as good. It just takes a little bit longer for the process. Over here, we can see this is our finishing still. This one is still in the process of being built. The difference between the stripping still, which this is going to be for the stripping still, is your mash goes into the stripping still, and the first operation of distilling, you only get it up to about 30% alcohol. Then you take that the product that comes from this still and you put it in this still, and this one will bring it up to 100 proof. So you're going to see more of that as we do more videos. This week, we just got these boilers. These are copper boilers, and they're in the style of how they would have been built in the 18th century and the early 19th century. Brewers used these boilers, and so did distillers. As you can see, they're pretty large, and there's about 120 gallons in each one. Now, these boilers will be set into masonry over here in this corner. As you can see, I have one of the fireboxes ready for one of the boilers to sit right on top of this. So I left the end open. That's actually going to be closed off because it's fed wood from the outside, and you can see into the firebox. Might be a little bit dark, but you can get an idea what that looks like on the inside. So anyway, there's going to be the two boilers over here. I'm not going to get into that a lot right now because as we do more videos, we're going to be showing the operation and how these are constructed. As you can see, we started to bring some old brick in from, these are reclaimed brick from actually probably 1820, 1830 building. And we're going to be using them for the outside enclosures of the boilers and also for the still too. There'll be a box of brick built around this, which will be filled solid. So there'll be a big, solid unit of masonry. And that is to make a heat sink for the stills so that you can control the heat better. So that's about it for this week. We hope to see you in the next video, and we'll talk more about our progress and how things continue to improve here in the distillery.